What's with all the Sedgwick content, you ask? Well, besides the obvious cutes and cats break the internet, he has his moon in Aquarius. So the full moon was conjunct his moon, and I do like to do animals charts. I think it's really interesting. I actually have his time of birth, believe it or not. So I have his correct birth chart even by the minute. So I have his rising and everything. So he was definitely more lively over the full moon. I do see the responses with his astrology. He's been waking me up early the last few days, just laying on my shoulder. This morning he laid on the pillow next to me and he had his paw on my nose. It was too early, so I just gave up and went back to sleep like that. And that means I can watch his transits as well. Have you ever watched your pet or animal furry friends' astrology or checked out their birth chart, checked out their transits? It's a really interesting insight. Obviously, not everyone agrees that it works with animals, but lots of people do. And they do live up to 20 years. So that's solid enough to have some astrology happening. And it's also really interesting looking at synastry if you've got a few animals, but mostly it just gives you an insight to them. So, what is their moon in? What is their Venus in? Also, their Mars? Things like that. What are the aspects? So, Sedgwick has his moon in Aquarius and it's conjunct Neptune and Chiron, both in Aquarius. So the moon's in the middle of those two planets. That's really, really sensitive. And in Aquarius, he needs a lot of space. He does need his own space, and he's an Aries, so also very independent. That's an independent combo, and it's interesting to think about, how would a person express that? And then, well, how is that going to be expressed in an animal? So I've gotten to see it. And yes, of course, I chose my cats according to their astrology, and I made sure they were really compatible with me.